Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. Another day, another dollar with your boy. We're breaking down our futures contract per usual. And just like I said yesterday, in yesterday's video, if we could not take out today's low and get one time framing down on the daily, we would come back up and hit all the upside destinations that I had on the charts yesterday. I said if we got back above the price probe, right? If buyers opened up above the price probe and sellers could not take control and push this market lower, we would try to work our way back up above 95. If we found acceptance above 95, we would go trade at 49.11. We got above there. There was nothing stopping us until the day's high at 49.30. And then today we pushed up and missed it by a couple ticks. I mean, I give it to you guys, right? I can read a damn market. I can read a market. It just, I'm not able to trade it at times, but I can read a market. In yesterday's video, I was talking about how if we could not, right? It's always if you're never truly going to know 100%, right? It's 50-50 a lot of the times. Whether or not it's going to go one direction or the other. But there are things that we look for as traders and as day traders that give us hints about what the more probable thing is, right? And then today, we couldn't take out the overnight low. So if I go to our chart here, and then I pull up, is this the full session? No, it's 5 minutes. We'll look at our 10-minute here. Our overnight low, okay, from the overnight session starts at 48.70. Okay, overnight lows at 48.70. Our overnight high would be right here at 48.95.75. So just where. So if I pull up the destinations at, or where the destinations were. It was right where we spiked below and where the single prints filled at. Is right where our overnight high was. This morning, right out the gate, not necessarily right out the gate, but guess what? We pushed right up. We attempted to, open up above the single prints. Really didn't get there. We just opened up in the middle of the overnight range, pushed up, didn't fill the set of single prints right away. B period rotated lower, couldn't take out the overnight low. Remember that overnight low was down at 70. Couldn't take out the overnight low. We rotated up, had a reversal bar, filled the set of single prints. And the initial time, we failed at A, going trend up, and then B, finding acceptance in the upper distribution. So shorts, out the gate were not a bad idea. It's selling up here near the highs was not a bad idea if you knew where your out was and if you were comfortable taking the short. That was not a bad play because only 3 out of 14, 15 days in the year so far have we actually held trend to the upside. So with that data, the likelihood of us rolling over is pretty good, right? Now, and then obviously a poor high up here at 99, which is where we eventually spiked out of later, and then becomes our afternoon pullback low area. But once again, sellers push this market lower and failed to get that overnight low. We pushed down to 74, so we missed it by about 4 points. Failed to get the overnight low again, and then guess what? I was even sitting here watching it prior to leaving. I just stepped away because I just didn't know exactly what this. I didn't like that we opened up here, right, and was seeing a lot of whipsaw initially. So I just stepped away from the market. Decided I just wasn't going to trade it today. So when we pulled back here, I was looking at it and I was like, it's actually not a bad long opportunity to come back up and see if you rotate back near the high 4,900. And this day becomes kind of rotational between 4,900 and 48.75, right? Wouldn't have surprised me to see that type of rotation there between those two levels, right? Would not have been surprised to see rotation between those two levels at all. However, if you did take that long, even if you didn't take it down here at the lows, right, 74 against the overnight low because you had gotten the overnight high, there was mixed market generated information, right? So you technically we're not wrong to want to short the market down here at the low with lower value and everything. But nuances, right? We got the overnight high, right? We pushed up, initially rejected out of the upper distribution from yesterday, but also think sellers, if they really wanted to get going this morning, should have easily taken out the day's low and got going to the downside. But we failed to do that. We held this upper distribution from that day on the 19th. I was pointing that out in yesterday's video. Buyers want to reject from this area. They don't want to find any acceptance below 75. Guess what? Got down 74.50. Boom. Rejected out. So had you taken the long down here, beautiful job, right? But if you didn't, guess where you could have gotten long? Once you got back above the open, you get long 84. Your target's 49.99 or 4900, right? 48.99 or 4900. Great risk reward trade there, right? Great risk reward trade, in my opinion. And if you held, congratulations. You made even more. If you were like, okay, I don't think that the sellers are strong. Let's buy once we pop this high and get back above the open, 84. All right, we're in 84. We take some off at 4,900 or 48.99. Let's see if we begin to find some type of acceptance above 4,900. If we do, then we know where our next upside destination is, right? So after all these destinations here, right, they no longer meant anything except for where the lower distribution was. We rejected out of that. We rejected out of this upper distribution here where we held 2 days, right? Had 2 poor lows there. Rejected out. All right. Feeling confident on the long. We find acceptance above 4,900. We took some off. You know your next upside target. 49.11, 9Y point of control. That's why these things are so important to have on your chart. And if you want to learn more about these destinations and how to find them and what they mean, just go check out Paul Asmar, his YouTube channel. Great guy. Also go check out camelbacktrading.org. Sign up for the room. He's been my mentor for the last 2 years, and I've learned an unbelievable amount from him as far as reading charts and understanding where buyers and sellers could potentially be, and understanding how the market moves and structure in that sense. All the execution and everything, that's on me, right? Whether or not I'm a successful trader, that's on me. So same thing for you guys out there. Whether or not you're a successful trader, that's on you. How you execute, that's on you. But I highly suggest joining the room and just finding out the value of learning all this information and seeing the charts, how we see it through profile. So let's just say you didn't get the long here at 84 and you didn't get the long above 4,900 to get the 11Y point of control. All right. The next opportunity to buy was when we pulled back here to retest 4,900 and where we spiked out of at 49.9925. That became our afternoon pullback low, not textbook, because technically for it to be textbook, you got to have set a single prints. But we did pull back 48.99. Afternoon pullback low is what we'll mark it as here in a minute. But had you gotten long here, or not even in this time frame, right? You don't even have to get long initially, right? You just seen, all right, we pulled back, we took out that low at 4,900, we're back below 4,900. Let's see how we react there. Let's wait till the next time frame. Well, the next time frame pulled back to 4,900, didn't take out the previous low at 48.99. Get long. Get long. I wish I was here. I wasn't here. I was at the gym. Had I been here, I definitely would have taken that long. I definitely would have taken that long to at least rotate back up to 49.11 and then potentially to see if we get the high day at the time at 49.1950. And eventually we did. And we continued to grind up higher, 49.3050. And as you can see in the after hours, shorts are covering. And apparently whatever earnings came out today, very good earnings. They like what they see. So if tomorrow we open up above 49.3050 and today's high of 49.2975, the daily, once again, just keep in mind, is still in a balance, but we'll be attempting to fill the gap here at 49.4150. That's where the gap gets filled on the upside. But just keep in mind, we are still in a balance. That balance ranging between yesterday's low of 68.25 and our all-time high of 49.57.25. So we have to take out that all-time high up there in order for us to find any acceptance above 4,900 and get the daily back to one time frame and up. All right, so let's go ahead and mark our destinations. I know that was a long rant, but just keep in mind, like, understanding these nuances and understanding where you could buy and why you could buy, what you can buy against or what you can sell against, right? Even initially, if because you've seen we were attempting to go trend, you took the short against 49.11 initially, you still got, I mean, you might not have gotten paid right away, but you still got paid on the pullback. I mean, you can see here how this time frame pulled up. What was that? A, B, C, D, E, F. So an F period, how it pushed up. We just missed getting 49.11. Say you took a short at 49.09. You got your stop 2 points above 49.11, so you're getting out 49.13. It pulled down and closed at 49.01. You got short 49.09. That's a 9-point range to the downside. And it might have even pulled back even lower, but you still made 9 points if you were looking for the short. After that, you definitely want to be more cautious because you were one time framing up, right? And for those of you that don't know what one time framing up's, just go check out Paul Asmar's videos. Go join the room, or hit the like button, subscribe, comment something down below saying, hey, what is one time framing up? What is one time framing down? And we can go over that. But nonetheless, very, I guess, positive day for the buyers. Terrible day for the sellers. They definitely should have, if there was some bears out there, they failed miserably today on the downside, as we ended up near yesterday's highs. And yeah, very, very positive day for the buyers. Let's go ahead and mark our destinations. We only go out with the day's high, low, and an afternoon pullback low. Okay, no Y point of control. Nothing of that nature. Today's low day here. If I can type, Jesus, help me. Today is the 2nd and the 1st of the month. So keep in mind, we are still one time framing up on the monthly. We'll look at the larger time frames here in just a second, since this is the start of a new month. So we have today's low day down here at 74.50. We have our afternoon pullback low right here at 48.99. So buyers 110%. They want to open above 4,900 or 48.99. That is going to be the line in the sand for tomorrow in order for them to hold and have any hopes that this market can continue to the upside. Okay, but like I said, in the bigger picture, which we'll look at here in just a second, in the bigger picture, the market is one time framing up on the monthly. We're back to balance on the weekly, and we are in balance on the daily. So not terrible to have some type of consolidation before we get some type of move to the upside again. But obviously with earnings, FOMC, volatility has been all over the place. 2124, and we'll label it as such. All right, so buyers open above 48.99. Okay, we will rotate, take out 49.30.50, assuming we don't open with a gap to the upside, filling this gap at 49.41. But if we open above 4900, we shall trade at 49.30.50, fill the gap at 49.41. Then we have the 11Y point of control up here at 49.50.25. All-time high, balance high on the daily at 49.57.25. Downside, if you open below 4,900, you don't have anything until 48.74.50 to lean against. And then balance low, daily low, 48.68.25. I have a feeling that we will not see that destination again. Now, as far as support and resistance areas, I don't necessarily lean against them too much, but this was an area that we had resistance at, couple days ago. We spiked above it, got to our all-time highs, didn't stay up here very long. So if we open up above 49, inside today's range, above 4,900, Just keep in mind we could find some resistance around that 49.30 level. Not necessarily seeing that on my end because we've already passed through that level. It doesn't really mean a whole lot, but just keep that in mind. Could be an area of some type of weakness and resistance, and then you have nothing until that 41.50, and then the 11 wide point of control. And then just once again, I just love to reiterate how we called it holding this upper distribution today. Okay. Holding that upper distribution from the 19th. Very, very, very proud of seeing that. Not being able, not trading it. It is what it is, but I seen it. That's all that matters. All right. Let's look at the larger time frames just real quick. We'll start with the daily. Fuck it. Why not? We'll start with the daily. So daily, we are in a nice little balance. Okay. In a nice little balance here. Got the 20-day moving average creeping on up, sitting at 48.52.91. So basically 48.53, which is just a couple points below our daily balance low. So we are in this area of consolidation. We could continue to see a whole lot of chop between this large range of 49.57.75 and 48.68.25 until we come out one way or the other. But something's telling me that maybe we'll come out of balance prior to the end of the day tomorrow. But if not, then just keep that in mind. Balance high, right? When we're getting near a balance, we got to respect our balance rules, which are getting near a balance, high or low. And, we either fail. If we fail at it, we'll rotate back the other way. If we get near a balance, high or low, slightly stretch the balance high or low. In this case, since we're getting near, stretching the balance high would mean we get above 57.75 by about a point or two and then rotate back in, failing at the highs. Or the last scenario and third rule is pushing to, through, and away with some continuation. So that would mean getting above 57.75 and having a trend day to the upside or just one time frame and up, but getting good extension above 49.57. So maybe we trade up to 49.80, somewhere in that range. If not, like I said, the other two rules come into play. So balance rules are in effect. All right. Now let's look at, excuse me. Let's look at our weekly. Let's look at our weekly. Weekly has come back to balance. Like I said, the balance is still just forming. But as of right now, if we close how we are currently, we are in a 2-week balance. However, if this market just somehow magically rolls over overnight and we open up near the lower end of this range and we push lower, then we will be encompassing this week here, creating a 3-week balance. But for now, it's just going to be a 2-week balance. I will update this balance range tomorrow after the close because we'll have a better idea of where our balance high and where our balance low is located. Essentially, it's going to look a lot like our daily balance, right? The daily and weekly balance will look very similar. It'll look exactly like that unless tomorrow we come out of balance on the daily, begin one time framing up, and then we begin to stretch our balance high on the weekly, right? Because we took out last week's low. That is, I guess, an outside week up scenario at this point. So it's subjective whether or not you call it continuing to one time frame up or you say it's a balance. For me, it's going to be a balance. We will continue to one time frame up if wherever we close at the highs or not. Next week, we take out this week's high, wherever it may be tomorrow, and continue to push up higher, if that makes sense. And lastly, looking at our monthly, the healthy one, right? We need to, for the month of February, we need to take out 57.25 to continue to one time frame up. We've been one time framing up 2 months in a row. This would make the third month, even if it's an inside month, right? But you would like to see, if you're a buyer, take out 57.25 and continue to push up towards that 5,000 level. And then ultimately, where I'd like to see the market go, which is my target of 52.60. But, you know, it's going to take some time before we get there. But buyers definitely want to see one-time framing up on the monthly continue, volume to continue, and range to continue. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Once again, thanks for all your support. Leave a like down below. Subscribe if you are new, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.